Something that I don't hear nobody talking about when it comes to the P. Diddy stuff is that there's lessons to be learned through the P. Diddy stuff, what he's going through. Because I don't believe in ever wasting a crisis. And there's a message in everything, even a bullet, unfortunately, like our brother Jadakiss said. But there's lessons to be learned in this P. Diddy stuff. And what do I mean by this? P. Diddy, the bulk of his problems didn't occur till he started calling out that big liquor company and addressing them. And that goes to show you that never be comfortable having a stake in someone else's company, because P. Diddy, a lot of the times, he's the face of that liquor brand and a lot of the things he's doing regarding Bad Boy. But P. Diddy's still on a payroll. Somebody higher up is employing P. Diddy. And whenever people from the dominant white society give you something, a seat at their table, a lot of times they throw black people under the bus, and they'll pull the legs out from under you whenever they feel you out of line or out of pocket. They'll remove the seat right out from under you. And this is what happened to Diddy, because it wasn't by coincidence that they held on to that tape of him hitting on Cassie for so long, because they came out with that when it was convenient for them to do so. They always got something dangling upon over your head. So it's important that us as black people, we always get our own, have our own things. That way nobody can take things from us. And I ain't making no excuses for Diddy, because what Diddy done, he deserved to pay for it. But I just hate to see black people, especially foundational black Americans, spend their whole lives building themselves up and the stuff that they work for to get snatched and stolen right out from under them. And but this is a lesson too. We got to have our own, because whenever people from the dominant white society give you something, if you go against the grain or the narrative, because you always got someone to answer to. White people ain't gonna give you nothing, no diploma, no certificate, no seat at their table, being the head of a company. They ain't gonna give you nothing so you can be beneficial to black people, to your people. When the white dominant society gives you something, it's to serve them, truth be told. And that's in the word of Minister Louis Farrakhan. They ain't gonna give you nothing to empower your people. When they give you something, it's to serve them. And we must start getting our own and producing things on our own, solely by our own, even if it takes us to work 10 times harder to get where we need to get to be independent. We need that independence thing, because Kanye West, they did the same thing to him. How do you go from being a billionaire overnight to having a zero account by morning? This is because your success is predicated off the white dominant society, when black people must have their own. Another lesson we can learn through the P. Diddy stuff is never think you too high on the hog. Never think you too big for your britches. Because P. Diddy, when he was riding the wave of that Bad Boy, he thought he could never be touched when he was on top with the Ciroc and everything. That was his mindset. And anything that goes up can come down, must come down. Anything that goes up can come down. So never think you too big for your britches. And a lot of times we got to watch who we calling our friends, because that's another lesson that could be learned. P. Diddy was running around popping bottles with all them celebrities on them yachts in the Cayman Islands, partying. And where all these people at now, when all the chips is down, when his back's against the wall? 9 times out of 10, you find out who your real friend is when all the chips is down and your back's against the wall. Because when people are just around for the convenient times, when the money and the bottles is flowing and the gas is in the air, that they just around for the convenience of things. But when there ain't no money or no opportunity in it for them, you find out who your true friends are, when it's nothing to gain from the situation. So a lot of times we got to be careful who we calling our friends, because Diddy was around all them big wig company owners, this, that, and the other, and none of them are around when he needs them. Just my thoughts on the matter. But I'm a firm believer in never waste a crisis, because a message could be learned in anything. And this P. Diddy situation got a lot of messages in it if we take time to look at it. I just documented a few of them here in this video, but there's many, many more if we take time to look. Peace.